Any lawman that comes after me won't have it easy.
I sure hope that explosion was you. Did you seal off the sulfur? Good to hear. Without access to the sulfur, Cook doesn't have much to offer the gang. I guess it's over then. We could turn ourselves in. I hadn't thought of that. Would you be willing to talk to them on our behalf? Thank you. We'll wait here until we hear from you.
Just in time for You're just in time for your ass whipping. Let's start. Time for some getting. That idea. Weapons on its left. Gonna six this bitch. And then the fight started. Let's start this dance. Go wide! You're just in time for your ass whipping. Holding my breath. Gonna fix this bitch. Saving up some. Gonna fix this bitch.
I heard from one of Melissa's runners that that check
I like you, stranger.
I like you,
stash.
stranger.
Not
You
many
stood
would.
by us when not many would. Good to see you again.
A robot dog? Never seen one of those before.
You're not one of my regulars. What do you want? We keep the Great Khans from falling apart, essentially. Jack manufactures the chems. I organize the runners and the shipments. We're supplying things people want in exchange for things our tribe needs. Don't judge us. We make regular shipments to a lot of settlements around the Mojave. A lot of our business comes from the fiends lately. Personally, I think they're kind of creepy. But Papa likes the fact they get all hopped up on Psycho and harass the NCR patrols. Like what? I'll spare you the history lesson. Talk to Papa Khan if you want to hear that story. Things have been rough for a while now. Even with Jack working all the time and my runners making deliveries daily, we're barely getting by. Maybe this alliance with Caesar will help, but I don't know. Red Rock Canyon isn't exactly the most hospitable place. There's no food, barely any water, and nothing anybody wants. We used to send patrols out to acquire supplies, but ever since Bitter Springs, there just aren't enough of us left. Helpful? What, like bathtub stim packs? What's the point of that? You've got a point. Selling meds to the locals could be a pretty nice side gig. All right, I'll tell Jack to give it a try. Yeah, you made a pretty good argument. We'll keep it small for now, but if it turns a profit, we might expand. Jack handles the small-time purchases. You should talk to him unless you're looking for a major shipment. Anything else?
So the cub enters the wolf's den. What do you want, cub? And what benefit would this alliance give us? Well now, the armory could always use more firepower. Very well. Tell the powder gangers we accept their offer. However, they would still have to pass the initiation rite to truly join our ranks. You want to hear the story of the Great Khans? It's a long one, full of honor, glory, and betrayal. We have suffered, but we will regain our glory. In a hurry, are you? Very well, then. The Great Khans came east, out of the NCR 14 years ago. We ruled the wastes then, and called no man master. But we underestimated the families of the Strip, and they drove us back to Bitter Springs, where we remained until the NCR arrived and drove us here. They allied with Mr. House, the self-proclaimed master of New Vegas. He supported them with the resources of New Vegas. Weapons, technology, caps. They were better equipped, and we could not stand against them. When the NCR came to the Mojave, we thought they would be easy pickings. We raided their caravans, their towns, their camps. They couldn't stop us. At least that's what we thought. They tracked us to Bitter Springs and surrounded us. When our children, our sick and old, fled through a nearby pass, the NCR gunned them down. Oh, they claimed it was a miscommunication, but tell that to those who saw our families butchered. Tell it to the survivors who were banished here. Typical. No reference for history in the younger generations. Have you now? Well, you're a bold one, I'll give you that. But why should I do this for you? Don't you dare mention the NCR under this roof. They are butchers without honor, killers of women and children. I won't hear any more talk against Caesar or his alliance. The Great Khans will answer Caesar's call to war, and the NCR will pay for their crimes. You march all the way out to Red Rock Canyon, enter my home as bold as you please, and you have no idea who I am? You've got guts, I'll give you that. Well then, let me educate you. I am the chief of the Great Khans. The Khan of Khans, if you like. This is my tribe, and these are my people. It's because of that we have sworn to take revenge on the NCR. With our new allies in Caesar's Legion, we will crush them. Farewell.
I heard you try to convince Papa Khan not to join with Caesar's Legion. I'd like to talk to you about that for a moment. Name's Regis. I'm Papa's second-in-command. You might say I share your concern about Caesar. You want to convince Papa not to ally with Caesar, right? Trust me, you'll get nowhere just talking to him about it. He's fixated on restoring the glory of the Great Khans, and he sees Caesar as the path to that restoration. Papa can be a stubborn man, but he's not a tyrant. He listens to his tribe, and to 4 voices in particular: me, Jack, Diane, and Melissa. If you can convince all of us that allying with Caesar is a bad idea, you might be able to sway him. I have my doubts about Caesar, yes, but I won't publicly go against Papa Khan based on nothing more than doubts. I've heard rumors that tribes who aligned with Caesar in the past were torn apart and reduced to slaves. Prove it, and I'll back you. You'd have to talk to them, but those two have been thick as thieves since they were kids. Convince one, and the other will come around. Ah, Melissa. She's a bit of a dreamer. Last time she was in camp, Carl filled her head with stories of serving the Legion as a speculatore. Personally, I've never seen a woman in Legionnaire's armor, so I have my doubts. Good. Oh, one more thing. Caesar's representative, Carl, has become fast friends with Papa. Carl's the one who has him so fixated on this alliance. You'll probably have an easier time of things if you can find a way to get him out of the picture. Carl talks prettily about the honor and nobility of the great Khans, but I suspect his actual opinion is less flattering. Maybe you could find something he wrote that expresses that opinion, or trick him into losing his cool in the longhouse right in front of Papa. I would too, if I were you.
Tough-looking woman.
You're back. What's the word from Papa Khan? Well, that's a hell of a lot better than going back to prison. See you around.
Something tells me she aims for the crotch.